Let's dive into one of the most profound, most powerful texts in all of world literature, the Bhagavad Gita. Now, what's so fascinating is that this entire epic story unfolds right in the middle of a battlefield, born from this single moment of, well, absolute crisis. And the central question it asks? It's one that I think you'll find resonates deep within all of us, even thousands of years later. So I want you to just imagine the scene for a second. You're on the epic battlefield of Kurukshetra. You have two massive armies just staring each other down, filled with cousins, lifelong friends, even revered teachers, and they are poised to completely annihilate one another. Right at the heart of it all stands one of the greatest warriors of his age, but just as the horns sound for battle, he puts his weapon down. He's done.
And this, right here, is the question that kicks off the entire text. I mean, why would a celebrated hero on the brink of the most important battle of his entire life suddenly just refuse to fight? The answer to that question? Well, that's where this incredible philosophical journey really begins.
Okay, so to really get what's going on in his head, we first have to understand the conflict itself. This isn't just a war, it's a civil war. It's a bitter, painful family feud over a kingdom. On one side, you've got the 5 Pandava brothers, who are fighting to get back what is rightfully theirs. And on the other side, their 100 cousins, the Kauravas, who basically stole it from them.
Now, let's meet our guy Arjuna. He's the legendary archer for the Pandavas. I mean, the best of the best. And as the battle is about to start, he does something really strange. He asks his charioteer, a man named Krishna, to drive him right into the middle of the no-man's land between the two armies. He wants to get a good look at the enemy.
And what he sees out there, it just breaks him. Because staring back at him from the enemy lines are not just soldiers, they're the faces of his own family. He sees his granduncle, Bhishma. He sees his teacher, Drona. He sees cousins and nephews. And the sight of all these men that he loves, that he respects, now standing against him as enemies, it just completely overwhelms him.
Look, this isn't just a moment of hesitation. This is a full-on emotional breakdown. The text says his mind is literally overcome with grief. He drops his famous bow, Gandiva, and just declares, "I will not fight." His argument is that any victory would be totally and utterly meaningless if he has to win it by killing the very people he loves.
So let's just be really clear about what's going on here. Arjuna's crisis is deeply moral. He's asking these impossible questions. How can I possibly kill my teachers, the men who taught me everything I know? How can I bring myself to slay my own family? He's convinced that even if he wins, the victory would just be hollow, completely tainted by blood. He's afraid it's going to tear apart the very fabric of his society. It's a really profound and, honestly, an incredibly human dilemma.
And right at this point, the Gita does something amazing. It pivots. See, many people read this whole story not just as a physical battle, but as this powerful allegory. In that interpretation, Arjuna, he represents you, me, the individual human soul. Krishna, his charioteer, is like that divine voice inside of us. And the war itself, well, that's the eternal struggle we all face, the one between our better angels and our inner demons.
So this is where Arjuna's charioteer Krishna steps in. And it turns out he's a lot more than just a charioteer. He reveals that he is, in fact, the supreme soul, God in human form. And the conversation that they're about to have, well, that conversation is the Bhagavad Gita. It's a guide on how to navigate the battles of our own lives.
Now, a concept that is absolutely central to everything Krishna says is Dharma. It's a huge word, and it means so many things. Your duty, your purpose, your own essential nature. It's the right way of living that keeps the whole universe in balance. For Arjuna, as a warrior, his Dharma is to fight against injustice. And you see the problem, right? This creates his central conflict. How can he fulfill his duty when the act itself feels so profoundly, horribly wrong?
So Krishna's first piece of advice, it doesn't start with battle strategy or tactics. It starts with the philosophy of action itself. He introduces this whole new way of looking at things, a path that's designed to free Arjuna from all of this grief and confusion.
And this is the core of his first teaching. It's called Karma Yoga, the path of action. Krishna explains that the real source of our suffering isn't what we do, it's our attachment to the results of what we do. The wise person, he says, does their duty without thinking about what they're going to get out of it. Not victory, not fame, not wealth, none of it.
So this breaks down into a pretty clear 3-step path. First, you have to understand your dharma, what your essential duty is. Second, you do it. You perform that duty to the absolute best of your ability. And third, and listen, this is the key, you completely let go of any interest in the results. You act simply because it's the right thing to do, not for what you think it might get you. But even after all of these incredible teachings, Arjuna is still struggling. This abstract philosophy, it's just not quite enough to shake him out of his despair. So he makes this incredibly bold request. He asks Krishna to show him his true divine cosmic form. He needs to go beyond just words. He needs to have a direct experience of reality itself.
And what Arjuna sees next, well, it's pretty much beyond all human comprehension. The text itself seems to struggle to find the words, using this incredible metaphor. Imagine the splendor of 1,000 suns, all exploding in the sky at the exact same time. Arjuna is given this vision of the totality of the universe, a sight that is both beautiful and absolutely terrifying.
In this incredible form, Arjuna sees everything. He sees all the warriors on the battlefield, his family, his teachers, everyone, already being consumed by time, all of them flowing into Krishna's infinite being. This just completely flips his perspective. Krishna tells him, "By me, these warriors have already been slain. You are merely the instrument." And suddenly, in the face of this huge cosmic reality, Arjuna's personal grief just seems small.
This vision, this is the turning point. It's the direct experience that finally liberates Arjuna from his paralyzing despair. He's now armed with both philosophical knowledge and this divine revelation, and he is transformed from a man of doubt into a man of just unshakable resolve.
The transformation is a complete 180. The man whose mind was overcome with grief now stands up and says, "I stand with doubt dispelled." The warrior who was refusing to fight now proudly proclaims, "I shall do as you command." He's no longer paralyzed by his own personal feelings. He's been set free by a much, much larger understanding of his place in the cosmos.
And so, at the very end of their conversation, Arjuna picks up his bow. He is finally ready to fight, but not out of hatred, not out of a desire for a kingdom. He's ready because he finally understands that it is his dharma. He's now free to act, completely detached from the outcome, serving a purpose that is so much greater than himself.
And in the end, the Gita kind of brings that battle right back to us. It suggests that the real battlefield isn't out there somewhere, it's within our own hearts. And the real fight is against our own inner demons, our doubt, our fear, our selfishness. And so it leaves all of us with this one timeless question to think about. What is your dharma? What is the right action that you are being called to do in your life?